The Biden administration is not enforcing the immigration laws. It's attracting people and enticing people to make this very dangerous trek, causing them to lose their lives.
That's Texas Governor Greg Abbott demanding action and accountability from the White House after 53 migrants are found dead inside a tractor trailer.
Former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee joins us now. Governor, this is such a tragedy. And, you know, it's not just the people migrating to the United States who are dying. It's also the Americans who are dying because of fentanyl poisonings that are taking place in this country. And when it does come to the border issue and the politics of it, I think it's really a game of messaging. And Democrats' message is that their open border policies are compassionate. Are Republicans doing enough to counter that?
I don't think anybody can look at this horrific scene that unfolded down in Texas this week. 53 people died a miserable, painful, excruciating, and totally avoidable death because of the human trafficking. That's happening largely because the policies of the Biden administration is what I call the Minnie Pearl philosophy, the old country comedian who said, "Y'all come." And that's what the Biden administration has said. They have ignored the law, and that's what's significant here. If you don't like a border law, you have a right to go to Congress and get it changed. You don't have the right to just ignore it and pretend it doesn't exist. And the result is 53 people died in that truck. Several others are still in critical condition and may yet die. And as you mentioned, Carly, and this is so important, when people maybe think that the border crisis stops at the border, it doesn't. It goes all over the country with every death of fentanyl, with every type of human trafficking where a 9-year-old is turned into a sex slave. This is horrible, and it's unacceptable. And the Joe Biden administration, like it or not, they own this.
Speaking of the administration, here's what the border czar, VP Harris, had to say back to Abbott yesterday.
How the governor of that state responded really highlights part of the problem, because his response, where there are 50 dead bodies in his state, is to go straight to politics instead of dealing with the realities of the issue.
Kind of makes you wonder, what are the realities of the issue? This feels like the biggest unforced error of the administration.
I don't know that Kamala Harris has made sense of anything that she said in the past 6 months. It's absolutely hard to understand. Is she just speaking words randomly from the dictionary, or is she trying to make a point? Yeah. The point she was trying to make there was lost on me because she was talking about the realities. Well, the realities, Ms. Vice President, is 53 dead people in the back of a truck because your policies, and you're in charge of it. Joe Biden said you're going to be the czar, as you mentioned, Joey. Well, what kind of policies end up letting people just cross the border at will to be turned into slaves? This is horrible. And why we don't understand that this is not about the politics of who gets to come. This country welcomes people to migrate. We're a great country because of immigrants. Thank God for them. But I don't thank God for the kind of exploitation of human beings that we're seeing, where people are making millions of dollars exploiting the most vulnerable and the poorest people from third world countries and pretending that they're going to be escorted to a better life when they're often escorted to slavery or their deaths.
We're hoping you could translate for us something that Kamala Harris said earlier this week about 2024. Take a listen to this.
Joe Biden is running for re-election, and I will be his ticket mate. Full stop. Full stop. That's it.
Well, Governor, she issued a clarification on that, saying the president intends to run, and if he does, I will be his ticket mate. We will run together. What do you make of this strange clarification?
I think she's trying desperately to hang on to the job. Full stop. This is so funny to watch her, on one hand, trying to say, absolutely, we're going to be there. The next day, well, we intend to, but we're not sure. Somebody at the White House told her to back that down a little bit, and she did. The only thing you can be assured of with a Kamala Harris statement is the next day she's going to make some type of clarification to it, because it didn't make sense the first day.
Well, with the passage of time, sometimes you need to make those clarifications. Governor, thank you so much for joining us this morning. You're the best. We appreciate you having you on.
You bet. Thank you so much.
You too.